Now, there really isn't anything radically wrong with being sick or with dying.
When I look at a sick child with cancer, or when I look at an old person who's dying of Alzheimer's disease, I see something radically wrong. And for you to just say that there's nothing radically wrong with that shows that there's something radically wrong with your brain.
Who said you're supposed to survive?
Me. I say I'm supposed to survive because I want to survive and I want to live forever.
Who gave you the idea that it's a gas to go on and on and on? And we can't say that it's a good thing for everything to go on living from the very simple demonstration that if we enable everybody to go on living, we overcrowd ourselves.
Oh yeah? Well, how about this simple demonstration? How about we just stop having children, or we can colonize the universe so we can have infinite room?
So therefore, one person who dies in a way is honorable because he's making room for others.
Actually, dying just makes you a loser. That's it. Because anyone who's dead can never have any fun ever again, so they lost everything. They're just a loser.
We can also look further into it and see that if our death could be indefinitely postponed, we would not actually go on postponing it indefinitely.
Speak for yourself, Alan. I would postpone my death indefinitely. Because I want to live indefinitely. Because I'm not a suicidal idiot like you.
Because after a certain point, we would realize that that isn't the way in which we wanted to survive. Why else would we have children? Because children arrange for us to survive in another way.
Yep, as I expected, the typical symbolic immortality, pump out children to have your symbolic legacy. Typical bullcrap. Nothing original here. Oh, I had a child, now I can die. Let me educate you, Alan Watts. Our children have a completely different brain from us. They have different experiences. Therefore, if we have a child, in no way does that make us survive through them. Duh.
By, as it were, passing on a torch, so that you don't have to carry it all the time.
Oh my gosh, look at the diluted romantic language he uses. Passing on a torch. No, it's not like passing on a torch. When you pass on a torch, you're still alive. You get to rest and you get to have fun, you know, when you're done with your leg of the race. When you die, it's game over forever. You've lost everything. This is such horseshit.
By, as it were, passing on a torch, so that you don't have to carry it all the time. There comes a point where you can give it up and say, now you work.
Look how he's reversing this. He's turning life into some chore. You know, like life is something you should be relieved to just give up. Give it up. Such bullcrap. You know, my life is fun. I want to continue living because it's awesome.
It's a far more amusing arrangement for nature to continue the process of life through different individuals than it is always with the same individual. Because as each new individual approaches life, life is renewed. And one remembers how fascinating the most ordinary everyday things are to a child.
I don't care what's amusing for nature. I care what's amusing for me. And there is no amusement in being dead.
Because they see them all as marvelous, because they see them all in a way that is not related to survival and profit. when we get to thinking of everything in terms of survival and profit value, as we do, then the shapes of scratches on the floor cease to have magic. And most things, in fact, cease to have magic. So therefore, in the course of nature, once we have ceased to see magic in the world anymore, we are no longer fulfilling nature's game of being aware of itself.
Oh, this makes me want to puke. This type of language that he's using now. Nature's game of being aware of itself. I hate this new age, incomprehensible psychobabble.
There's no point in it anymore. And so we die. And so something else comes to birth, which gets an entirely new view.
Yeah, what you're describing here, it's better known as the circle of life, or as I like to say, the circle of death. Because all this death and rebirth makes life meaningless. Unless an individual can survive indefinitely and retain their meaning and value in their own brain, it's all pointless. Because it's like a chalkboard that keeps on getting erased. And then new information gets put on there, and then it gets erased again. It's pointless.
It is not, therefore, natural for us to wish to prolong life indefinitely. But we live in a culture where it has been rubbed into us in every conceivable way that to die is a terrible thing.
Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because a person's life is all they have. And if you die and cease to exist, you lost everything. And you can never experience the beauty of life ever again. But according to Alan Watts, no big deal. No biggie.
And that is a tremendous disease from which our culture in particular suffers.
Oh my gosh. He just went over the top stupid. Now, he's not only glorifying death, he's being accusatory of people who want to live forever, saying that our thinking is disturbed. You know, he's comparing it to a disease, like people who would want to live forever, people who aren't okay with death, they have the disease. No, Mr. Allen, it is you who are disturbed. You are the suicidal one. People who want to live forever, we are sane. Okay, it is sane to want to survive and to preserve your life, which is the only thing we have. It's the most important treasure that we have. Well, you heard it. We're living in a world of people this stupid who are actually trying to convince us that dying is okay. Yeah, just give up, quit on life, die and cease to exist. It's okay, not that bad. Never mind the fact that if you die and cease to exist, you literally lost everything you had and your life is pointless, a pointless joke. Alan goes into the Hall of Shame, the Deathist Hall of Shame.
There really isn't anything radically wrong with being sick or with dying.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.